Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Husker Dragon, long time no see, bringing you a brand new segment called Bringing Old School Back. As we've seen in today's game, it's all about mash special summoning from the get-go. Here's a few examples. Rescue Rabbit. Your opponent will then summon Rescue Rabbit. Banish the Rescue Rabbit to special summon 2 level 4 beat sticks, then overlay into Lagia or Dolka. But if you're playing the Warrior variant, you're going to special summon 2 level 4 Warrior beat sticks and overlay into Heroic Champion Excalibur. And it's just like, yeah, okay. Wind-ups. The opponent goes summon Wind-up Rabbit, special summon Wind-up Shark. Use Shark's effects, change it to a level 3. Overlay into a Wind-up Carrier Zen Mighty. Then spam the field like a boss. Chaos Dragons. Chaos Dragons, ooh, what can we say? Charge the Light Brigade, Solar Recharge, Lila, Raikou, Mill, remove a Light and Dark, BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, Light Pulsar, Dark Flare. The decks are so simple. There is no logic to these type of decks. No originality, no need to use your brain. The only problem is, if you don't have the certain cards to get your combos off, the deck struggles a lot. These few types of decks struggle. If you don't have your combos, if you don't have your Rescue Rabbits in hand, or you don't have your Rescue Wind-up Rabbit, and you Wind-up Shark, if you don't have certain milling cards in your hand with Chaos Dragons, you know, you're just like, oh crap. Your opponents do rage quit. I have seen this many times and it's just ridiculous. You know, when I used to go to my locals, the same old thing, same people with the same decks. So your side deck was always ready to counteract their deck to give you an advantage. Which to me was boring and dull. There was just like, yeah, oh, you over there, Dynamite player. Yep, I got stuff in my side deck. Ooh, Dark World player, Widen Up player. Yeah, you're going down. You know, all these Chaos Dragon players. Yeah, mate, you summon anything, my Macro Cosmos is going to get rid of that piece of crap. You ain't going to be banishing anything. You know, it was just like, really, there is no, like, different combos that people come up with. It's like the same old thing. And there's nothing really anyone can do. Now, with old school decks, there are many different combos you can pull off with the set cards in your hand, which keeps your opponent guessing, and they wonder what you're up to. For instance, with your rabbit players, you will summon that Rescue Rabbit, you will banish it. The opponent knows exactly what you're going to be doing. Wind-up's the same thing. You Wind-up Rabbit, you Wind-up Shark. You overlay Wind-up Carrier Zen Mighty. Spam the field. Dark Worlds, as soon as Grapple comes up, yeah, they know what you're doing. Insectors, as soon as you Foolish Burial or destroy that Insector Hornet and it goes to the graveyard, yep, you know they'll be popping your cards. Chaos Dragons, as soon as you start seeing your opponent milling away like a boss, you know they're going to be coming. This is the problem, so you can counteract these many type of decks as soon as you know what they're doing. Comes to game 2 and 3, ah yes, I'm going to be signing this, and this. So really, it's a bit of a, oh, what's the point, because you've already got your side deck sorted. Everybody out there does the same thing, sides against it. And you think, well, okay, you're just going to gain an advantage if you draw those cards. Now when it comes to the side deck, with old school, the game completely changes. Because you don't side for their deck. There's a lot of logic and there's a lot of mischief. Because what you do is you change your deck completely. So with like, let's say you had a stun variant, you could change it to a burn variant, or you change it to something like an aggro variant, or you change it to a power variant, or you change it to a more defensive variant. Whereas your opponent is going to start siding for what you just did. So let's say you had a power variant, they're going to start putting cards that make sure you take the damage and try and reduce your monster's attack points. Whereas you just changed your one to more of an aggro or a burn variant, and they're going to be like, oh, well, hold on a second, that's not the deck you just played. Oh dear, your deck has completely changed. So there is no strategy there at all, because you just gone, yep, bye. Hold on a second. Yeah, you're playing a stun variant, so I'm going to put these powerful cards, so it's not going to bother me. Or we're playing aggro. Okay, be a bit more defensive, but these defensive cards will help. So the side deck of an old school player is brilliant. I mean, let's take for example with originality decks. Dark Magician 84. Now, I played Dark Magician 84 many times as he's come down to us in Margate. And I'm always interested and stunned at the fact of what high quality ideas he puts into his decks. Dark Magician Heroes. I used to love that deck. I had no idea what it did. And I used to think to myself, how the hell did you start against that? What do you do against it? Hold on a second, he's doing this, then he's showing Prisma, he's doing this. I'm like, what? Legendary Heroes. That deck I loved. I won that against it many a times. I figured out a few of the combos he did, but the way he did it was genius. You never knew what he was going to do until he played it. It was always a different combo. He had different options, he had outs. It was like, Miracle Fuse these two, do this, do that. What? Damn, man. And you had a brilliant field, and it was like, bye-bye. Oh, damn, that sucked. Emma Blue Eyes 10. Now, her take on Blue Eyes White Dragon is interesting. Okay, she doesn't use some of the cards that I will be using when I build my old school Blue Eyes, but she uses some interesting cards. But the problem is, you need to bring Blue Eyes back into the game. And Blue Eyes is a card that is going to be a pain to bring back unless you know what you're doing. So, for this type of thing, you're going to need power cards, but strength cards, but also defensive as well as aggro and burn cards to make sure your opponent doesn't get a 1-over on you. As I will discuss more through this new segment. And of course, the Underground. Now, the Underground are a few that I've seen so far of YouTubers that have original decks and they've stayed with those decks. They've tried to modify those decks, they've tried to make their decks better, but keep it as the same style of deck. They haven't gone from the route of, ooh, spell books come out, or prophecies, I'm going to play that, ooh, rescue rabbits come out, let's do something with this. Oh, look, you know, all these new burn cards are here. Oh, look, I'll just like take this brand new deck that someone's put on YouTube and I'll just like net deck it. No. These three key people that I've mentioned are only a selected few around that actually will still have original decks and try something different. And that's why those type of people are the underdog, but also the dark horse in competitions, because you never know what they're going to be doing. As I explained earlier with old school decks, when you open up with your 5 or 6 cards, there are many different combos in your hand that you can use. So it doesn't matter if you open up with, you know, a few high level monsters or a few spell trap cards that you may think, okay, I can't use those yet. But when the opponent does something, you've got like, okay, if I put these down and activate this later on in the game, this may help. And okay, I won't use it this turn just in case I go bottomless or compulse straight away. So I'll wait a turn and see what they're doing. So there are many different things you can do with old school decks, and this is why I want to build old school and see how well it does. So I hope you enjoy this new mini segment that I'm doing, and it's going to take a long time to bring Blue Eyes back into today's game, but using a few of my old school tech ideas, but I hope it works, and I hope you enjoy the videos when I make them, and you know, please rate and subscribe, and please tell me, of course, you know, if you have old school type of decks, what type of decks have you built to keep in the originality, but trying to keep up with today's format. So, this is Mr. Sasko Dragon out, and see you in the next video. And remember, only real men use water pond.